In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the particle counter. So the particle counter is a useful tool if you want to count, basically make track of all the particles that you have that you want to count, just how many of them. So typically we all lab analyze protein DNA complex, so this may not be a good image to show that. Let me see if I can get another better image. Okay, let's do this. So here is a protein DNA image, and I would just do it simply, just run this. Alright. So typically when we do this, we will analyze individual protein DNA complex. What we do is we crop the image, and so this will open the region inspector to do individual inspection. And so we have one crop, and you see there's a box on the right side, which means these particles you have inspected. Okay. You can repeat the same thing as crop another particle and do the same thing, then finish the analysis here, and then we have two crop regions. So so now we know we have two particles crop that's used for data, which let's say they are the particles that we're interested in. And then now we also have like other DNA molecules that's that we haven't analyzed. Probably, for example, they probably don't have any proteins on them, then we just ignore them. But on some analysis, we want to count all the free DNA as well. So we do want to know, we don't want to keep a track of how many free DNAs are out there. So one way to do that, well, this is a simple image, you can simply count, in your mind. But for some more complex image, you might want to use the help of a cell counter. So what you do is you right-click the image and click cell particle counter. So it opens up a new window. So already the particles that are analyzed is already cropped by a box, right? So you can simply ignore them. But for the particle that's not cropped by a box, now you can count them. For example, some DNA they are long, some DNA they are short, and you can count them by using different labels. For example, all you need to do is to move your mouse to a particle and then press any key on the keyboard. If they are the same type of particle, you press the same key. If they are different type of particles, you press a different key. So for example, let's say this one particle is the DNA, right? Well, sometimes let's do this. Let me count the free DNA, and also let me count free proteins. Okay. So this is a DNA particle. So I just write a D. I press D here, and now I see D1, which means it counts 1. If I move mouse to here, press D again, a D2, and time it means it counts 2 DNA particles. And you can do the same time when there's a protein, let's say P1, and then repeat this process. So the program will automatically counts the protein DNA, but you can repeat the same thing with D. Oh, that should be a P. So you can cancel this, just press the backspace key, which basically undo the last step. So you can undo all of them if you want to. So P, so you don't have to worry about missteps in the counting. It can be override. And if you see that the text, it's kind of not easy to see. So you can also change the color. Just right-click the image and text color. So you can say let's use green, and now they are more easier to see. So, and in the end, when you count everything, you have all the free DNA, you have all the free protein, and you also know how many crops you have, so you get a basic idea of how many particles, how many useful particles, how many free particles are in your image. Alright, that's so much for particle counter.